Hello, my name is Macy if you don't know me, and if you do know me, hi. Welcome back. Today's video is just like a little sit down video. I've been doing a lot of vlogs recently and we know that I love to vlog, like that's not even a question. But today we're just doing a little chit chat. Whoa, I turned my backlight off because I think it looks worse with this light on. Here, I'll show you. I don't know. I feel like the white light behind me makes it look crazy. Whatever. I'll just keep it like this so it's lighter and I don't look like I'm sitting in the void. But today we're doing a little chit chat back and forth. Not back and forth, just me chatting at you because it's a YouTube video. But these are things that I wish I knew before college. So I am a freshman in college. This is my second semester. And so I've kind of been like acclimated to college life, I guess. It's not new to me anymore. And there are so many things about college that I guess you hear people say, but you're just like, whatever about. But here are some things that I was told and are true, or things that I've just like noticed by living here, by being here. I have a little sticky note, so we're just gonna run down the line. A lot of these are also applicable to high school, but college is just like a different realm, so let's just get right into it. The first thing that I wish I knew before I started college is working as a college student is difficult, but not impossible. It's manageable. I am a full-time student and I work part-time. Obviously, I don't know the experience of being a full-time worker and a full-time student. I'm sure that's crazy hard because being a part-time worker and a full-time student is hard enough for me. But I am a dance teacher and choreographer and I am working 3 days a week. So I leave my college 3 days a week to go work. And it is sometimes difficult and stressful, specifically with my line of work, because it's not like I'm going to like go serve, which in no way am I trying to say serving is like a really easy job. People are so annoying to interact with sometimes, but in my line of work, I have to have like choreography prepared and like basically a lot of planning beforehand. So it can make me anxious and stressed. I need to blow my nose. I sound so nasally. My toilet paper roll because they're just as good as tissues. Sorry. Okay, I think I sound a little better now. I'm still a little nasally, but working can make you anxious, but it is so helpful if you are basically not getting college completely funded for you. And there's nothing wrong with like your parents helping you through college, or you get so much scholarship money that you're not paying for college, like etc. But if you are a girly like me who's not getting her entire college paid for, which I'm obviously so thankful for the money that I do get from my parents to help me pay for college, it's the best. But working is a very good idea, even if you are getting college paid for, to have your own money. I think a lot of people come into college not financially prepared, which is nothing to do with the amount of money they have, it's how they manage their money. My parents were both just like very smart with how they manage their money and how they taught us to manage our money, but I know that that's often not what happens. So first of all, learn how to manage your money, make yourself a budget, but working, having your own money, that's like another level of independence, and I think it's really important. Even if you work on campus, there's a lot of jobs on my campus, and you don't have to work a lot, but even just having some extra cash, like if you want to go out and get lunch with your friends off campus, like it's just nice to have your own money. So I know that working and doing school at the same time can be intimidating, but in my opinion, it's worth it. The second thing that I think more people should know is you should apply for every single scholarship possible, even if you don't meet the criteria of what they're looking for. Obviously, unless you have to provide like a document proving that you're part of some organization or something like that, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying if there's a scholarship and you're like, I don't meet all of this criteria, apply anyway. Literally apply to anything possible. I applied for a scholarship to study abroad, and as of right now, I don't really plan to study abroad in the near future, but I applied for a study abroad scholarship, and I got the scholarship, and there's no like requirement, like you don't have to use that money to go abroad. I just put it towards my college tuition. It was a nice little chunk of money for me, and it's so important to apply for anything that you can. My college is so helpful with like providing so many resources to find scholarships through our school, but if your college or high school is not as giving when it comes to resources for scholarships, seek them out. Maybe talk to your counselor or something, because it's such an easy way to even get little tiny little bits of money. Anything helps because that's money that you won't have to pay out of pocket in the future. The third thing, I kind of started to touch on it when I was talking about jobs, but I didn't want to go too far into it because I knew that I wanted to talk about it all by itself. Time management and making a schedule is the easiest way to get through college. college. If you are someone who is like, no, I'll just like do it when I do it, like I'll skip a few classes here and there, like don't get into that habit. I had so many people in my classes my first semester that never showed up, and then at the end of the semester were panicking because they were failing out of their classes. As someone who's had like a sport their whole life and did online school, I'm pretty good with my time management. I am used to having to make sacrifices and setting aside time to do assignments, but a lot of people are not used to doing that. I'm serious. Even if you make like just a rigid schedule, you're like, from this time to this time, I'm gonna work on homework for this class. Like, you need to have a schedule of some sort of structure. Again, I think that me working gives me some structure. It helps me know what chunks of time I can do what. But if you do not make a schedule, I'm telling you, it's so easy to fall into like the I'll do it later, because no one is here telling you have to do your homework. Like, no, your mom's not gonna call and talk to your professor and make sure you're doing your homework. Like, if you don't want to do your homework, you don't have to do it. Will you probably fail? Yeah, but being punctual and having at least a rough idea of what your days are going to look like is so important. It's so important, I can't even tell you. See the same thing, as I said, with people who come in and they don't know how to manage money. It's the same thing with people who do not know how to manage their time. And those are usually the people who are constantly stressed out, because if you make sure that you have chunks of time set aside for schoolwork, you will be so much lighter. There will not be such a heavy weight on your shoulders. Like, everyone needs a planner. I don't care how basic it is, even if it's just like a big calendar, so you can have some sort of schedule to refer back to besides just when your classes are. The next thing, which I think is a huge misconception because of how college is portrayed on social media and movies and TV, partying is not the main focus of college. Like, I'm gonna argue that most people aren't going out every weekend. I'm gonna argue that most people maybe go out on occasion. I think most of the party scene, at least at my college, is around like sorority fraternity type vibe, but most people like don't have a drinking every night and we're going out every weekend and we're going to a club. Like, that's just not what most people are doing. And I think that that's a common misconception, because tons of shows like Euphoria, that's an extreme example, but also like maybe like Pitch Perfect, like a movie that's a college movie. When do you see those people go to class? Never. All they do is like hang out, party, and do their little acapella. But there's so many TV shows and movies that make college seem like it's going to be like every night you're going out and you're talking to these new people and you're going to the club and you're going to the bar. Like, no, most nights we all just chill. I mean, you definitely can make partying a bigger part of your college experience, but I would not advise it. Take college seriously. It's fine to go out and it's fun on occasion, but if you are sacrificing several nights a week or pushing off schoolwork to go out, it's time to stay in. The next thing is that rooming with your friends is not as like scary and awful as everyone says it is. I obviously have my own room. I'm so blessed to have my own room. I'm so happy that my college offered that as an option, but I still live with one of my best friends and we are completely fine. I feel like all of these TikToks and stuff in the summer when people were posting like, can't wait to live with my best friend, all of them are like, it's a canon event, don't say anything, like blah blah. Maybe you guys are just not as good of friends with your friends as you think you are. Obviously, if you've like never been to your friend's house and you don't know how they keep their room or like how much they know about taking care of themselves, maybe don't room with them. But my roommate and I have never had any real issue. We just talk. Like, if you have an open line of communication with your roommate, which if they're like your best friend who you think you can live with, you should. But I think that as long as you kind of discuss like who's doing what chores and like whatever. I know that it's different if you're living in a dorm that has like 2 beds in one room, because then you are always seeing your roommate's like side of the room. I obviously live in my own room, so I can do whatever I want, but I keep my room pretty clean. Elijah keeps his room pretty clean. We both often clean our common space stuff, like probably at least twice a week. We clean like either the living room or the kitchen or the bathroom or anything like that. So if you are that close with your friend that you're like, I think I want want to live with them, then you should be fine. I think people jump into living together with people that they're not as close with, maybe, and then it becomes a problem. I'm not really sure, honestly, because I've had no issues. Another thing is that I, like, for some reason in my brain, I thought that college, like, as soon as I started, I'd be doing my major stuff, which sometimes you are, especially if you're, like, engineering or more of, like, a STEM focus. But I'm a psych major, and you have to complete so many gen eds. Like, I did 5 AP classes at school, and I passed all of them. Like, I got a 3 or higher on every single exam, and so I was like, wow, I'm gonna jump right into my major. Not true. College, I go to a liberal arts school, so that's, you know, they require you to do so many gen eds that you're like, why do I have to do this? You have to take art credit, you have to take a PE credit, you have to take current world issues credits, like, you have to do so much stuff. So most people, your first semester or even your first year is just gen eds. And I had this vision in my mind that college was just like, as soon as I got in, I would be learning about psychology. Like, I'd be all up in there. I'd be with all of the other people who are in my major, like, but it's usually not. I take one psychology class, and I started it this semester. Every other class I take has been a gen ed, and I take one math class towards my major. And then my last thing, this kind of goes along with the partying thing, but it's okay to live a quiet life in college. When I say quiet life, I mean you like to stay home. You only have a few friends at college. Like, you aren't going out partying every weekend. You don't have a million clubs you're in and a million activities. Like, college is stressful. College is hard. It's a completely new environment, and often overloading yourself with social events or whatever is really overwhelming. I obviously advise you to check into your college's clubs and stuff like that for when you want to get involved, but don't feel ashamed if you're not going out partying every weekend, if you don't have tons of pictures with all of your new friends. Like, that's just not that realistic. You will make friends in college, you will go out sometimes, but living a quiet life has honestly been so nice for me, especially because my time is pretty taken up by school and work. So I just kind of get to chill. I like to be home. You don't have to be super extroverted and outgoing in order to have an enjoyable college experience. That's all that I have to say. This is kind of a short video, but I just wanted to let you guys know what was on my mind. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more of my face on your screen, all my other socials are in the description below. Have an incredible morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!